did the hard part. You confirmed the low of the day, the daily profile lined up, your correlated asset diverged, the 50% level held, and then you missed the entry. Price just ran off without you. Validating the level is only half the job. In this video, I'm showing you exactly how I convert a confirmed high or low into an actual entry with a real trigger, a real stop loss, and a real target. Not buy because it feels right, a repeatable process. If you haven't watched the validation video yet, go watch that first. Links in the description. Because everything in this video assumes you already know how to confirm the level. Let's get into how you actually trade it. Here's the trap almost every trader falls into after they learn to validate a level. They see the daily profile confirm. They see the PSP. They see the 50% rule hold. And they jump in immediately on the higher time frame candle. The problem is that a 4-hour or 6-hour candle can take hours to close. If you're waiting for that candle to confirm, you're not entering near the low, you're entering near the middle of the move, sometimes even into the target. So the real skill isn't just validation, it's time frame alignment. Knowing exactly which lower time frame to drop into once the higher time frame has told you where to look. So your entry, stop, and target are all sized correctly instead of chasing. Once your higher time frame has validated the level, you drop down using a simple rule of thumb, 4-hour confirmation. Enter on the 15-minute, 1-hour confirmation. Enter on the 5-minute, 30-minute confirmation. Enter on 3-minute. The logic here isn't arbitrary. You want a time frame small enough to catch a tight entry near the actual level, but large enough that you're not getting shaken out by pure noise. Going too small, like entering a 4H setup on a 1-minute chart, just means more false signals and a worse risk to reward ratio because your stop has to be unnecessarily wide to survive the noise. Once you're on the right lower time frame, you're looking for one specific thing to actually pull the trigger, a change in state of delivery. This is the single most important concept in this entire video, so pay attention here. CISD stands for change in state of delivery. In plain terms, price stops making the lows or highs that were pushing it toward your level, and then closes back through the most recent leg of that move. That close is your trigger. Here's a step-by-step. Identify the last leg pushing price into your validated level, the final down close candles into a low, or up close candles into a high. Wait for a candle to close back above the high of that last down close leg for a long, or below the low of the last up close leg for a short. That close is your entry signal. Why does this work better than just buying the wick? Because a wick alone doesn't tell you sellers have actually lost control, it just tells you price touched a level. A CISD close tells you the aggressive side has flipped. That's a meaningfully different piece of information. And it's the difference between entering on hope and entering on confirmation. Common mistake. Entering the moment you see a wick form at your level, before any CISD close happens. This is the single fastest way to get stopped out on a level that eventually does hold. You were just early by 1 or 2 candles. Remember from the validation video, reversal days and continuation days are different animals. Entries work differently on each reversal entry, trading off the validated high-low directly. Once you get your CISD close on the lower time frame, entry at the close of the CISD candle or on a retracement into the body of that candle. Stop loss. Just beyond the body of the CISD candle, not the wick. The wick is often just liquidity, and putting your stop past it usually oversizes your risk unnecessarily. Target. The nearest opposing liquidity. That's usually the previous candle's high-low, a prior session high-low, or in stronger setups, the opposing daily, weekly level. Continuation entry, trading through a gap left by the initial expansion. If the reversal already happened and you're now looking to join the continuation move, entry at the fair value gap or order block left behind by the expansion leg, ideally on the lower time frame, stop loss, beyond the gap or the structure point that created it. Target, 2R minimum, or the next liquidity pool in the direction of the move. The key difference, Reversal entries need the full stack of confirmation, daily profile plus correlation plus CISD, because you're fighting the recent trend. Continuation entries need far less because the trend is already established. You're just picking your spot to join it. Let's put the entire process together, start to finish, on a real chart. These are the actual chart screenshots. Daily, setting the stage. Starting on the daily chart of MNQ. What we're seeing here is a C2 closure followed by a C3 expansion. That's an established swing. Then, a little further along, we get another C2 closure. Now here's the key step. We mark the 50% level using the wick of that C2 candle, not the body. Why the wick? Because the wick is unusually large. When the wick is that oversized, it holds more weight than the body. So that's what we anchor our 50% level to instead of the close to open range. So the question now is simple. Can we get a C3 expansion off this level? Let's drop down and find out. Moving to the 4-hour. Through Asia and London, price is grinding higher. Then the 6 a.m. candle sweeps the high and reverses. At the same time, we've got SMT divergence forming against MES. MNQ takes that high, MES doesn't confirm it. That's our correlation, confirmation stacking on top of the reversal. And notice, this leaves a draw on liquidity open to the downside. That's our directional bias for the rest of the session. Dropping to the 1-hour. Price sweeps that same high we marked on the 4-hour, then closes back below a series of up-close candles. That close is what confirms the high of the day, and it happens right at the 9 a.m. New York candle. So 9 has done its job, the high is confirmed. That means the next candle, the 10 a.m. candle, is the one we're actually going to trade. Which works out well, since that's exactly where we want our entry time frame to line up. Now to the entry time frame, 5-minute, aligned with the 1-hour. The 10 a.m. candle opens, ticks slightly higher, and prints a short series of up-close candles. Then one candle closes back down. That's our signal. I'm reading that as the 10 a.m. wick being formed, meaning the body of that candle is what we're actually here to trade. So I enter on the close of that down close candle, stop placed appropriately, and target set at 2R. And you can see how clean it plays out from there. Hits the target with room to spare. Notice in this example, the entry didn't happen at the exact wick. It happened a few candles later, once the CISD close gave real confirmation. That's the trade-off. You give up a small amount of the move in exchange for a dramatically higher quality entry. So to recap the full entry process, once a level is validated, align your time frame, wait for the CISD, the close back through the last leg, not just a wick. Choose your model, reversal entry off the level directly, or continuation entry through a gap. Stop beyond structure, not the wick, and target the nearest opposing liquidity. Daily gave us the level using the wick instead of the body. The 4-hour gave us the reversal plus SMT confirmation and an open draw. The 1-hour confirmed the actual high of the day at 9 a.m. And the 5-minute gave us the exact entry candle off the 10 a.m. open. Every time frame did its job, and the trade followed through to target. Validation tells you where. This process tells you when and how. Put them together and you've got a complete, repeatable framework from confirmation to execution. If this helped, like the video and drop a comment with what you're trading. It helps more than you'd think. Subscribe if you're new, more of this is coming. See you next time. Peace.